Okay, I should be connected now. Um, let it pop, let it pop. Okay. Few seconds to go live. Few seconds to go live, and I'm starting. How's that? Okay, I'm a little bit down in health. Please forgive me. Can anyone hear me now? I'm starting. Can anybody hear me? Okay, I think they can. All right. It's kind of very. Okay, give me a minute. Let me share the link to the Telegram community. The new link. I forgot to connect my mic the first time, so I was kind of trying to find out what was the problem. Give me a minute, just a minute. Soon we'll get used to it. Okay, so all right. Okay, so share the link. I'm giving you 1 minute to share the link to your community, your WhatsApp status, and all of that. All right. Okay, I believe you've shared the link to your WhatsApp status, your friends, your Twitter friends. Um, like we do every week, starting from last week. Okay, thank God you guys can hear me. Just got info. We'll be talking about our bias for the coming week on different pairs. You know what are pairs? What are like default pair is? That's Nasdaq, DXY, Euro USD, GBP USD. I'm not going to focus on BTC right now. I'm not going to be analyzing more BTC because BTC is not really that algorithmic. So we will leave BTC for now. Focus on this currency pairs price action, forex price action till when BTC gets back to normal. Because I don't want to even look at the charts right now. I don't get confused. From my voice, you can hear that I'm very bit down in health, and since yesterday night, although so today is Sunday, and I couldn't get any drugs from any pharmacy. No pharmacy was open, so I'll get that tomorrow. I couldn't even go outside, but I'll try and get some medications tomorrow as markets are opening. Okay, so if you recall when we talked about DXY on our previous live session, we talked about this particular zone. We talked about this particular FVG, right? This FVG was what we talked about when price was going to react. I was expecting price to react into this FVG before coming back for this relative equal lows. Like I said, and I've always said in every video that these lows, relative equal lows, are like magnets to price. So price are always attracted to these lows or highs or FVG. So I'm expecting price to come here. This for the daily time frame. There's nothing to really see there on the weekly time frame. But for the daily time frame, I'm expecting Euro USD to pull downwards. Refilling that FVG, consolidating in there is a kind of accumulation for this distribution towards the FVG. So you know what to expect when when dollar index is kind of bearish. That means all its quote pairs, like I keep saying, that's Nasdaq, US 500, Euro USD, GBP USD, all its quote pairs will be inverse of what dollar index is doing. So I don't really do these correlations for intraday. I don't really use these correlations for intraday. I just use them for my buyers. If I see dollar index is about to pull downwards, then whatever I'm doing for the week for Nasdaq, you can see Nasdaq is all open here. Nasdaq, all of them US 100, all these tabs are for US on different time frames. So what I'll be doing for the week on Nasdaq is looking for what buy opportunities. But during that first phase of the week, the manipulation phase, you'll be looking for what sell, expecting price to take liquidity before distributing, right? So that's that for dollar index. We'll be looking more on Euro USD now. I kind of like this. Um, okay, this is Nasdaq. We'll not talk about Nasdaq yet. Nasdaq will be the last. So let's talk about Euro USD from the weekly chart. So I heard somebody asked me today that I'm intraday yet I keep dropping weekly and daily buyers. So I deemed the question to be foolish though, so I did not answer that question. It was like you always drop you always drop weekly and daily buyers, but you say you are intraday. So I never I couldn't figure out how to answer the question, so I just ignored it. Okay, so for the weekly chart, you can see we had this beautiful buy side liquidity there, which price sweeps with a candle. And if you remember from the lecture weak zone liquidity, you know what to be expecting here on just good went to GBP USD. Okay, back to Euro USD. Like I said, you know what to be expecting here on Euro USD. Price taking out buy side liquidity is pulling price what to this volume imbalance. So this volume imbalance should be first target, right? For the weekly volume imbalance should be first target. There, volume imbalance should be first target, right? And I think I've talked about this inside bar candle. I think in weekly AMD, yes, that lecture weekly AMD, I talked about this inside bar candle. What should you be expecting when you see a candle forms inside a particular candle? What I mean by inside a particular candle is that you can see this candle, the previous candle is totally engulfing the current candle. This clearly tells you that the coming week is going to be very, very volatile. Could be one side range. What I mean very volatile could be is that that week might not have a manipulation phase, right? That week might not have a manipulation phase. Just open, accumulate, and start distributing. Like I say, these things occur most times, right? Sometimes you have another inside bar again, then the next week will now be the volatile week, like the very large range week. But what you should be expecting here on Euro USD, some kind of volatile price action coming in either this week or next week. Just expect price to, after dropping this inside bar, expect price to be very volatile to one side. But price have taken buy side liquidity, so I'm expecting it to drop into this volume imbalance. Like I said, I'm going to talk about this in a volume imbalance, inverse FVG. You guys have been hearing me talk about these things. I'm going to teach that, right? I'm going to teach that very soon, so you don't get confused when I'm talking about volume imbalance and all of that. I'm mentioning all these imbalances, all at inefficiencies, but inefficiencies have different type. Some people mistake all like this kind of volume imbalance for AVG. This is not AVG. Some people mistake void for AVG. That's not AVG. So we have another volume imbalance here, and you can see price dropping into it, refilling that. But this particular volume imbalance is not refilled yet. This particular volume imbalance, you can see this is not refilled yet, and you want price to do what? Sweeping out buy side liquidity and coming to take it, right? Coming to refill that. That's what I'll be expecting for this week, or if not this week, price will not do this in. So like price is not going to do all of this week, but price will be heading towards that direction. That's what what I'm pointing towards, right? So we'll go to the daily time frame. And for those of you that trade Euro USD, if you notice that most of the things I teach that on Nasdaq, they happen to on Euro USD. I don't really study Euro USD. I was just looking at the previous week price action. I was like, wow. So these things occur not only on Nasdaq. Okay, so it happens on Euro USD, GBP USD. That's daily AMD. If you've not watched that video yet, I'll tell you to go and watch that video. It's kind of a eye opener, right? So that daily FVG, what are you expecting when price is opening for a new week? Sorry, for a new day. So the same way it does on Nasdaq, the same way it does on Euro. That's just the footprint. But the only thing I love about Nasdaq is very volatile. So that's why I love trading it. It's volatile. It gives you more profit in less amount of time, right? So for the daily time frame, Euro USD price have taken out buy side liquidity. What do we expect next? Is just simple logic. Okay, simple algorithm. We have this, might not be very visible, but you can see it, price is currently in a volume imbalance. You can see I had to scale my chart to see that very visible. And sometimes if you are using your phone, this data will be so compressed that you will not see these things. All these things are hindsight, right? Yeah, hindsight, yeah. But I'm expecting price to drop from that particular zone, Euro USD. Most people are still seeing buy, yeah, because this is another block here for Euro USD. Price drops into that other block, dropping into this FVG, also dropping into this FVG. So Euro USD kind of in an indecisional point. You actually know what is going to do, because when we have a weekly draw liquidity below and price already swept this previous old low, old high. So what you should be expecting? Some people will argue that the Euro US is going to be bullish, US is going to be bullish to take out this high. Yeah, there's no argument on that fact. It could come take this high, but I am seeing Euro USD push down towards this weekly volume imbalance. That's what I want to see. All of these lows here are liquidities. All of these lows. You can see one low here, two lows here, and this other low. So all of these lows are liquidity. I'm expecting Euro USD to take this out. I might be wrong. I'm not 100% perfect. Please don't get me wrong on that. This is just my view on my own strategy, the way I'm seeing Euro USD. So if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that. I'll learn from my mistake. But anyhow you see the market, it's okay to get from my own idea and trust your own bias, right? Okay, so that's Euro USD. Okay, let's go to the hourly chart and see what's happening here. Okay, hourly chart, you can see price currently consolidating inside this daily FVG. But and most times, daily FVGs are like, um kind of reversal point. But if you kind of point back towards in few videos, I don't really know that particular video, but if you are following the videos accordingly, you notice when I said something like, when price is dropping into an imbalance, how do you know if price is ready to retrace or if price is ready to continue? So what I want to see if price is dropping into an imbalance is 50%. That's consequent encroachment. That's what I do mark as CE, right? So 50% of that imbalance should be marked out. That's consequent encroachment. I don't want to see price come below the half of that FVG. If it comes below the half of that FVG, filling it all, there's high probability that price might likely continue downwards, right? This is just simple logic, right? It's just simple logic, because if you just take this as an assignment, right? Just take this as an assignment. Go to your charts, whatever you trade, find these things on the daily time frame. If you are looking on this other daily time frame, if you are looking on this other daily time frame, because we have a weekly so we have a volume imbalance here, we have another imbalance here. You can see price dropping into this imbalance but avoiding this volume imbalance, thereby showing you that the algorithm is strongly bullish, ready to push price back up, right? But in the scenario where price drops into an imbalance like this, starts consolidating inside it, there's a very very high probability that price might likely drop down, like go further for the sell side liquidity, right? What it's just going to do is confuse some traders and go up. We have another rejection block here. We have this rejection block here for the daily time frame. So the algorithm might ignore this volume imbalance and tackle this rejection block before coming down to take out this aside liquidity. So I'm just trying to see figure out like what I do study, what I understand with Nasdaq, trying to see if it can happen here. Well, there's one way to find out. That's for us to just wait and see. Time will tell, right? So that's that for Euro USD. That's what I'm expecting. You can watch the replay of the video if you don't really understand. So let's go to GBP USD. Many people are seeing buys on GBP USD. I don't know what they are saying, but everybody has their own strategy. What I'm seeing on GBP USD is very very funny though. Although for DXY, remember we are going to be bearish on DXY. So Euro USD can be buying, GBP USD can be buying, Nasdaq can be buying. But note this: correlations are not 100% accurate. There are some times where GBP USD be buying, Euro USD is buying, Nasdaq is buying, dollar index also is buying. I don't really I can't really tell for like I can't really tell what causes that, but it happens, right? You want to study these charts. I'm just giving you this footprint. So you want to study these charts, go and use this as your assignment, right? Go and study the charts, look for this past price action and write them down on your notes. So for the weekly time frame, GBP USD, can clearly see a price taking out relative equal highs. Relative equal highs with what? With weeks. I believe you guys remember when I talked about insight on liquidities. What do you want to see if price is ready to reverse? The price is ready to reverse. You want to see something, right? That's like an impulse, momentum, price breaking a buy side liquidity with a momentum. But if price is just sweeping this like this, that means it's likely to reverse. Reversing to where exactly? So you can see that we have multiple drawn liquidity on this weekly chart, GBP USD. First, we have this volume imbalance, right? That's that. And second, we have another volume imbalance below here. So all of this can be drawn liquidity that you want GBP USD to return to, and this could take months because this is weekly chart, so it could take a month or two. But that's that draw liquidity. I want to see that refill. The price will surely come for that, right? Not 100% sure, but I'm expecting price to come for that. Well, so you can see these fresh zones or this fresh level here. Sorry, not zones, levels. This fresh buy side liquidity level. Price taking that out, sweeping this other liquidity again. You can see this, sweeping this other liquidity again, taking this other one out. This is just double confirmation of price to be bearish, right? Many people will be buying GBP USD because Nasdaq is kind of showing sell, right? But like I said earlier, there are sometimes this thing doesn't work that way. There are sometimes it doesn't work that way. Okay, so we have this large imbalance here, and this is what we call the CB. I think some people saw me annotate that on my charts today. CB simply means sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to teach about that sometime in the future. Yeah, so stick to this channel, subscribe, like, and share this video. Okay, we are going to start hitting heights. We are going somewhere. If you believe, though, if you believe, right? So we we traded into this what CB, this imbalance, this large candle that formed that created this imbalance, and price is just rejecting with what? With wicks, rejecting that imbalance, rejecting in that imbalance with wicks. Same thing Euro USD was doing, but Euro USD was kind of doing it inversely, right? So GBP USD is this imbalance swept this high, taking out liquidity after taking weekly relatively equal highs or equal highs, then breaks this low. Actually, there's a low here. If you check on the hourly time frame, there are lows. All these are lows, right? Breaking this low with large impulse. That's this large imbalance. What do you expect? It's just like you seeing the OT as or the simple entry module playing out on a large time frame, right? But you argue, most people argue because it's not breaking this low, it's not breaking this low. But what are you supposed to see with this low? What I'm seeing with this low is that this is my sell side liquidity, relatively equal lows. Price drop again, making it relatively equal. And what do I say every time? That price are magneted to this area. These areas are kind of rather attracted to these areas, right? So if I'm trading GBP USD, if I was to trade GBP USD this week, what I'll be expecting is for price to, after filling this FVG last week, you can see this also in an inside bar. If you check the weekly candle, this is also an inside bar. See the previous week. totally engulfing the current week, right? So you expect this the coming week to be what, large range. You expect the coming week to be large range this week or next week, but I'm expecting something to be very large range, like high volatility. Price will just be, might just be running to one side, like as if it's, they're chasing GBP. So I'm expecting this, right? So I want price to come for this sell side liquidity. That's my target. I want price could do this, come for this sell side liquidity, then likely push higher again if it drops any imbalance. Like, why coming for this sell side liquidity? If price drops any imbalance on the daily time frame, price might likely push higher and trade back to this weekly volume imbalance. But this volume imbalance is my draw liquidity for the long term. As I'm expecting GBP USD to trade into. You might argue whatever, however you like, but that's my long term bias, my long term draw liquidity for GBP USD. I'm expecting it to trade into it, into this volume imbalance. But first, our short term bias is price dropping from this imbalance on the CB to tackle this sell-side liquidity. You can see price is perfectly respecting. I'm not countering my own words, right? You can see price is perfectly respecting the consequent encouragement of this FVD. When I would, like I said earlier, let's mark out at 50% of the FVD. You can see at 50%. These are 50%, and there's no up close candle above it. I hope you're getting my ideas for this thing. If you expect price to reverse in this doesn't work 100%, but note this as I'm telling you now. You're supposed to be with your notes and your pen. You're supposed to be writing this down now. So write this down as I'm telling you right now. If you're expecting a daily draw liquidity, that's could be a fair value gap. If you're expecting price to reverse on that fair value gap, whatever you are not predicting, this is not prediction. You want to see what price is doing there before you react, right? If price refills this imbalance with an up close candle, like price is closing above this, the consequent encroachment of this imbalance, that's 50% of it. In case you see me using CE is just consequent encroachment, so you don't get confused with the names. I don't like complicating things with a lot of names, right? Okay. Oh Jesus. I think I just came back live. I don't think my mic is low. I oh god. This is 8:32, so I've been talking for let me close this. So I've been talking for almost for over 10 minutes. I don't know, I was just like touched. Something just touched me. I'm like, let me check the Telegram community because I kind of put my phone in silence and everything. Everything was in silence. I was not hearing anything at all. I was not seeing anything on the post. Everything. So, oh boy, oh boy, this is so bad. This is so bad. I believe you guys can hear me now. Can you guys hear me now? Oh boy, can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm just going to round up. I think my mic